Robots. In Japan, robots are benevolent. They save the world, they defeat enormous monsters and save the people from extinction. In America, robots are malevolent. You know, open the pod door, pal. Robots want to destroy the world, whereas in Japan they don't, and I kind of like that. I had an uncle who was a professional artist. My father's brother, he was killed in the war, and we had this folder of paintings that he did, and every now and again I would always get it out and look through it, and I used to try and copy some of his paintings when I was like 8 or 9. I think that was probably more of an influence than I thought, but knowing that I had an uncle who was an artist was really interesting. And he did portraits. There were 2 masks that he designed, and I always used to copy those. I never thought about it until recently, but that he has, he's quite an interesting person in my development. I owe him a lot, I think, my Uncle Raymond. Yeah. I like art that isn't made by artists. Like folk art and art that's used for a different purpose, like the idea of a poster, especially propaganda posters. Folk art, like a lot of African masks and stuff like that, and voodoo paintings, where the art is done for some other reason. I'm very interested in icons, a practical use for art. You want to travel safely from Moscow to Novgorod, you take this little picture of Saint somebody or other with you and it will protect you. What else do I like? Japanese punk rockers, because they're a little bit perverse, but that's how they want to be. And that whole thing about Barbie dolls, they're strange too, aren't they? Because if they were real, they would fall over because their ankles would be too thin. Plus, I like lots of colour. And I like pretty pictures, So it's a combination of subversion, which perhaps isn't immediately obvious. I quite like the idea of using a naive technique. I like the sort of the sculptural feel of a group of figures, something that looks almost heroic. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a person. It could be a fire hydrant or something. I mean, it's got a presence to it. And I'm always looking for what is a good image.